Hi and welcome back to another video. Today we are talking about Microsoft Teams hints and tips. In this video we'll cover the 5 top tips that I have for interacting with Microsoft Teams, and if you find this useful, please click the like button, hit subscribe and tap the bell. It helps out the channel massively. And with all of that said, let's jump on over to Microsoft Teams. Okay, so the very first tip I have for you here is the ability to flip between the default theme and a dark theme. So this becomes incredibly useful if you're using Teams a lot, and it strains your eyes because of the brightness of the white default theme. You can do is actually flip this over to a dark theme and continue using Microsoft Teams, causing less strain on your eyes. So what we're going to do is just head over to the avatar in the top right hand corner, give that a click and go to settings. From here you'll notice that under the general tab you have 3 themes available. The default, the dark theme, allows us to basically continue working within the application without straining our eyes. Okay, so that was tip number 1. Next on the list for tip number 2 is notifications. You may find that you're getting an awful lot of email notifications or banner notifications driven out of Microsoft Teams. And what you can do to control this is just head over to your avatar in the top right hand corner, give that a click and go to settings. From here on the left hand side, navigate to the notifications section, and then in here you'll notice that you can control all of your notifications for various different elements of Microsoft Teams. These range from mentions, where you're being mentioned personally or in a channel or in a team, to messages, so chat messages, replies to messages that you've started versus messages that you've actually replied to, so replies of replies, any likes or other interactions, any channels that you follow or trending, and you can set up various notifications depending on which you would like to actually be notified of and how you would like to be notified of those particular things. Then you're under the other tab here, you have more about the kind of structure of the actual application itself. So if there's any membership changes to a team, you can get a notification of that, or if any particular roles are changing, the actual sounds of the notifications, you can adjust those, and missed activity emails as well. So for example, you may have seen if you have not replied to a message, a chat message, in Teams, you'll have an email in your Outlook basically saying, you haven't replied to a message in your Microsoft Teams application, and you can control that from there. Highlights, so colleagues that have joined the Teams, and obviously meeting notifications as well. So it's well worth just going through this section and just personalizing what notifications you want and which ones you don't want, and how you also want them to actually be notifying you. Is that just in a banner? Is that just in an email? Is it across banner and email, and so forth? Okay, and that was our second tip. Third on the list, we're going to be talking about saving messages. So when you have multiple teams and multiple channels, and you come across some important information that you'd like to save, but then all of a sudden you forget which channel that was in or what team that was in, and you're trying to go through to find these various things. What you can actually do is save a message. So in this particular example here, where I have this meeting, if I would like to save it, all I have to do is hover above the message I would like to save, go over to the ellipsis in the top right hand corner here and click on save this message. What that'll do is actually then save that message into a separate area that basically lets you filter through all of your teams and all of your channels to find out all of your saved messages. So what we can do to get to that section is actually navigate over to our little avatar icon in the top right hand corner, give that a click, and then you'll notice there's a option here called saved. Give that a click, and that will take you over to all of your saved messages, which appear on the left hand side, and you can just flick through all of those to find the messages that you have marked as important or saved for actions later on. And that was tip number 3. Next on the list, we are going to be talking about navigation options for your teams and your channels, more specifically. So what you'll notice here, for me, I have an awful lot of channels within the 3 teams that I have. If you've got more teams, you may have even more channels, right? So what you end up doing, if, for example, if I was to scroll through this list of channels here and some are hidden, you'd have to click here to find out which ones have been hidden, and so forth. Instead, what you can do is actually navigate through the teams that you would like, find the channel. So if I just navigate to the supply chain team, find my general channel, click on the ellipsis of that channel and click on pin. And what that'll do is actually pin the channel to a pinned section of your Microsoft Teams. So you can pin all of the ones that you go to frequently, all the channels that you use an awful lot. And you can have them as like a quick launch shortcut section just within the pin channel. And obviously you can collapse this down if you want to, but for me, I like to just have my teams collapsed and my pin channels here available on the left hand side, just so I can navigate across my teams and my channels more efficiently. Okay, and that was tip number 4. So next on the list, we're going to be talking about the fun stuff that you can have within your channels. Now, or specifically within your teams, and then default within those channels of that team. And sometimes you have a particular team where you don't necessarily want GIFs or GIFs, depending on how you want to say it, or memes or images and things like that actually being sent across in the posts, because it gets distracting, it's unprofessional. If you wanted to create a very strict and very professional team that basically limited the amount of interaction just specifically to those specific serious subjects, what you'd want to do is actually remove the ability to post emojis, post GIFs, post memes and images into those particular teams. And to do that, what you do is navigate over to the ellipsis of the team, navigate to the manage team, and then under settings there's the setting here for fun stuff. If you give that a click, you can see that you have the ability to toggle on or off the GIFs, the stickers, or other various elements here, such as allowing things to actually be uploaded, right? So if you wanted a very serious team, you'd unselect all of that, basically removing those capabilities from any channel that falls within that team. And that would be really useful if you have a very strict organization, or you have specific teams set up for chit chat versus ones that have been set up specifically for getting work done. So that was tip number 5. If you found these tips useful, then please do click on the like button, hit subscribe, and tap that bell. It means a lot to the channel. And with that said, I will catch you guys in the next video.